Good evening to everybody and welcome to this Wednesday edition of our live stream. This is Christopher Daigan coming to you from our home in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. This is our Wednesday, the 25th edition of Piano Hour. We invite you to join us for the next hour and enjoy some calming, exciting, fascinating, interesting, intriguing and enjoyable music. We hope you can enjoy us for this time. Join us and enjoy the music with us, as long as everyone else who happens to be listening to it as well. This evening I'll be playing a wonderful selection of music, including some very popular things. The Moonlight Sonata, I'll be playing the first movement of that by Beethoven this evening, as well as the beautiful Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring, and some very other varied music, Scott Joplin, some South American tango as usual, and then ending off with an improvisation and some contemporary sounds as well, which I think you might enjoy. As always, if you are able to support us with these live streams with buying a ticket or a weekly or monthly support, financial support, we're always very grateful, and a huge thank you to everyone who has contributed to our project, which has been running for about 7 or 8 months now, and has sustained myself through this very tricky time, and also has enabled us to establish this entirely new platform and bring it to you, and we certainly hope that you are enjoying it. One of the things I'm going to include this evening is, as I've mentioned, the first movement of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, and in all of the weeks going forward up till the middle of December, I will be including a major work, a sonata by Ludwig van Beethoven, in the Saturday program, and the reason being that on the 16th or 17th of December, depending on which day you prefer to acknowledge as being Beethoven's birthday, Beethoven was born 250 years ago in 1770 on the 16th of December. And so I thought, well, it would only be appropriate with worldwide celebrations and acknowledgement of Beethoven's incredible music, incredible contribution to our lives. Where would we be without Beethoven? Wow, it would be a massive loss to our world culture if Beethoven's music had to suddenly disappear. And so I'm going to do my bit to bring you the music of Beethoven and to share that with you, talk a little bit about it. And so every Saturday concert, as I say, will including a major work, and I will include a highlight, a short piece from that in our Wednesday concert, which is why I'm going to do that tonight. So tonight I will play the first movement of the Moonlight Sonata. Saturday I will play the complete work. So to start off this evening's program, it is exactly 6 o'clock, and we are going to venture into some very varied and exciting music to start. I'm going to start with the Spanish composer Manuel de Falla from a dance suite, a ballet piece that he wrote. This is the Ritual Fire Dance, arranged for the composer by the pianist Arthur Rubinstein, who certainly made it famous. And in this particular scene, the fire dance, danced by dancers to be cleansed of evil and bad spirits, fire being the cleansing medium. Some very tense and flurrying, dramatic moments of sudden contrast between loud and soft, and a very driving, earthy rhythm brings the music to a final furore when that gets faster and faster, and really one of the most dramatic endings in piano music. Very brilliant pounding of chords again and again and again, and then the lowest A, bang, on the piano. What a great final moment that is. Straight after that, I am going then into the Moonlight Sonata, the first movement of the sonata, opus 27, number 2. The 14th piano sonata that Beethoven wrote in C-sharp minor. This is the famous Moonlight Sonata, not a title that Beethoven gave to the music, but the music critic Ludwig Rellstab, shortly after Beethoven wrote this or published it, said that it reminded him of the Lake Lucerne and a beautiful moonlit night, a stormy moonlit night with the moon shining on the lake. And so that moonlight atmosphere, that title has certainly stuck. This is the first movement, the Adagio sostenuto from Beethoven's sonata. And the third piece, a completely pure and contrasted change from the drama of the first and second pieces, the beautiful Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring by Bach, and a piece originally written for choir and orchestra, beautiful hymn interspersed with this very lilting and wonderfully peaceful and magnificently charming melody that unwinds itself like a long ball of string, you might say. And this is the arrangement by Harold Bauer of this famous piece, Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. So, De Fire, Beethoven, and Bach. the very tranquil sounds, the beautiful calm atmospheres of choir, orchestra, compressed into the piano with a complementary cell phone ring there. And before that, a moment from Beethoven with the Moonlight Sonata, the first movement of the sonata, opus 27, number 2. And starting off the selection of 3, Manuel de Falla, the great Spanish composer, who proclaimed that Debussy wrote some of the most more Spanish music than Spanish composers themselves, apparently. Manuel de Falla, his ritual fire dance, very brave and energetic piece of music to start off our piano hour on this Wednesday evening, the 25th of November. Now, you will see this evening the orchids, which were featured in our live streams a couple of months ago, which had formed a forest, which disappeared. They went out of season. Well, the next lot are coming back. The Cattleyas are coming back, thanks to Barry from the greenhouse, and they're starting to form their little forest of orchids around me, which is a great occurrence. And thanks to Barry also, who's providing the technical support and running the show this evening. So I'm going to go on to 2 pieces of music from South and North America. Amazingly, I was rummaging through my bookcase or cupboard of music, and I found another volume of Ernesto Nazareth books, which I'd forgotten about, and a number of pieces. And I realized how many Ernesto Nazareth pieces I've played in these Wednesday live streams, and I keep seeming to find more. So here's another one called Garota. I like this piece. It's got a very smooth, sort of sultry atmosphere to it. And then straight after that, Scott Joplin Rag, the king of ragtime, Scott Joplin, this time his Ragtime Dance. And as I was playing this today, I was trying to find the right tempo and thinking, I've got to get this. And it says, as in many of Scott Joplin's pieces, not too fast. Often Scott Joplin's music is played too fast, apparently. And a recording that I made of the Maple Leaf Rag, which I think is actually a very energetic and fast piece, has been broadcast many times. In fact, it's been broadcast probably too many times on Fine Music Radio in Cape Town, and apparently a viewer phoned in and irate and said, "Tell Christopher to stop playing Scott Joplin so fast. It's supposed to be played slowly. He says so." Well, Maple Leaf Rag is the one piece that I do think has to have a bit of energy, but this Ragtime Dance is very laid back, very slow, and it's even got some foot tapping stomp instructions included as well. So have a look out for that. percussion footwork there for me in the ragtime dance, one of the many ragtimes by the king of ragtime, Scott Joplin. Very jaunty, fun music for this evening's Wednesday program. Before that, another of the Ernesto Nazareth tangos called Garota. I must be honest, I can't help noticing this evening, I'm looking at my hands obviously a lot while I'm playing, and I'm looking at this jacket and thinking, my gosh, this has got to be the shortest of the lot. These jackets seem to be getting shorter and shorter, and I know everyone's thinking it's because he's getting bigger and bigger. Well, it's not actually, not entirely. I took this jacket amongst one of several, unfortunately, to a local dry cleaner, and all of them shrunk. And you can see, because the lining is sticking out. That's not my shirt. That's actually the lining. And there are probably about 4 or 5 jackets that are just now way too short. So amazingly enough, I have a collection, as you probably have noticed. I have a collection. I think I've worn a different jacket for the first 50 streams. And of course, some of them are now just too small for me. So I think I'm actually going to have to go and buy some more jackets. And I hear everyone at home groaning, not more jackets, please, no more jackets. They're stashed in a cupboard. I'll have to get a new cupboard to get to them as well. I can see Barry laughing. No more jackets. Or maybe I just need one that actually fits me properly with a proper shirt. That actually might help. I'm going to go on to, I need to look at my board to see what I'm going to play. I'm going to go on to the Mozart, music by Mozart and Arvo Pärt. A very energetic piece of music. The D major sonata, composed in Mannheim when Mozart was in 1772, so he was just a 22-year-old young man. And no, I've got that wrong. He was 16, sorry. He was 16 in 1772. And he wrote this music which is so full of energy and excitement. It's a great piece of music to include in this evening's program, a moment of brilliance and excitement. D major, a key often associated with royal fanfares and bright energies. And straight after that, in a complete contrast, I'm pulling out all the contrasts this evening, lots of contrasts of style and texture. A very interesting piece by a contemporary Estonian composer, Arvo Pärt. Arvo Pärt has a unique following in the world and classical music fans. His music is very still, it's very quiet, very concentrated, very, not even minimal. It's actually beyond that. It's just a very distilled, you might say, music. And he wrote this beautiful pieces, the Variations, the title translates as the Variations on a Thanksgiving hymn for his daughter by the name of Aranushka. And apparently his daughter was not well, and she had surgery, and he wrote this piece as a Thanksgiving hymn around this particular theme. And his music is very much inspired by the sounds of bells. And so you'll hear a simple melody which is repeated first 3 times in the minor key and then 3 times in the major key. And it's a really unique piece of music. It's literally pared down to the minimum of what music can be. And I've played this on a few occasions, and it's amazing people have responded to it, always so positively. And someone says, the music sounds cosmic. I thought that was a good word. Cosmic. It's like from another world. You'll hear. It's something quite unique, quite extraordinary. So a sonata, first movement from the Sonata K311 by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and then the Variations on the Thanksgiving for Aranushka by Arvo Pärt. two very, very different pieces of music there. What you've just heard there, the variations by Ivo Pärt, a contemporary Estonian composer, full of cosmic qualities, as I say, a Thanksgiving hymn written after the recovery of the illness of his daughter. And before that, the very sprightly and brilliant first movement of the Mozart Sonata in D major. Now, I'm going to go on to two pieces of music by the contemporary composer Ludovico Einaudi. These are pieces which I think have a place in the piano repertoire in some sense, in this intimate gathering where we're sitting very casually and sharing music of all different types and music from all around the world. I'm not sure if, I'm sure that many classical music buffs look down on this music, but that's not my issue. I think it's very interesting and I think it creates very beautiful sounds. I'm going to play two pieces for you. Una mattina, one morning. And then the second piece of music, a very interesting texture and very interesting rhythm, which I quite like. I find Einaudi creates such interesting sounds and combinations which look very different on paper, but feel very different under the hands and sound like something completely different on the ear. And I think there's some very interesting textures and a very beautiful feeling expressed in these two pieces. The second, short waves or onde kort, very interesting rhythm, very cross rhythm, interesting cross rhythm there, which I am very fond of. Two contrasting pieces there by the contemporary Italian pianist Ludovico Einaudi. Beautiful textures, beautiful sounds. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I managed to create something of the joy of the music that I've always enjoyed hearing. That not actually the recording, which I'm particularly fond of, is actually not by Einaudi himself, but by an Irish pianist, British pianist, I think John Lenihan, who is really does an amazing CD called Cool Piano, where he plays Einaudi's music on that particular disc. Now, in ending off this evening's program, I would like to move on to something a little bit different, and that is an improvisation and a piece of music for me to improvise on tonight. And I know that this annual occurrence, which causes consternation for many, is coming, and that is Christmas. And it is exactly a month today away. And I know everyone dreads going to the supermarket and hearing Christmas carols. But I think it's a great opportunity in these programs to gently ease our way into something of the Christmas spirit, you might say. And seeing as these piano hours, there are only 4 piano hours now between Christmas and Christmas Day, it's 4 weeks away. And I will include one of these improvisations on a carol or a Christmas-related music of some sort. And this is a piece of music that I would like to improvise on, which I have actually done before, because it's sort of an easy step into the Christmas spirit, you might say. It is a carol, but it also is associated with elements beyond Christmas itself. It's the carol The Angel Gabriel. And I was once asked to play an improvisation on this piece of music for a concert, which was themed around issue which related to the appearance of the angel Gabriel to Mary herself. And it was a very interesting experience. I found a very interesting moment in this music and so many possibilities within this carol. And I've listened to the improvisation that I made, which was recorded on YouTube, and I somehow absorbed various elements. So it's sort of partly an improvisation of mine, which now I've kind of repeated and turned not quite into a composition, but there's certainly elements which I hope to repeat and plan again. And I hope you enjoyed this. This is a very different sound, a very different take. I really am not intending to play straightforward Christmas music. There's no Boney M in sight here. And I hope you enjoy this different selection of the carol, The Angel Gabriel. That was a spontaneous improvisation on a not so spontaneous idea of the carol The Angel Gabriel, the first of our improvised notions and nods towards the Christmas season, which is almost upon us. And that brings us to an end in this evening's session of Piano Hour with myself, Christopher Daigen, coming from our home, KwaZulu-Natal. Thanks to Barry for setting up the controls and running the show this evening. I see that someone has joined us. Here's Wendy's made herself very comfortable in the pile of cushions nestling in the floor. I'm on the lookout for Christmas-themed Dachshund outfits. Watch out, Wendy. She's going to have an outfit on soon, I can see it. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the selection of music. Just a reminder that all of our programs going ahead until the 15th of December, 16th of December, will include music by Beethoven. So on Saturday I am playing the Moonlight Sonata as well as Liszt's beautiful Etude un Sospiro, and also the Scriaba Nocturne for the left hand, and a repeat of the Gavotte and Cis Double by Jean-Philippe Rameau. Very interesting, very exciting program. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. And coming up on the 5th of December, for those of you who've been waiting, we've been trying to reschedule this concert. It's still in the lockdown, so we've had so many issues. The Dumki Trio with the Trio Sofia, that's myself, joined by Ralitsa Todorova and Ralitsa Mocheva, will be on the 5th of December, and that's going to be a very beautiful program, really wonderful music there. And also some other guest artists coming up later in December and early in January. So please support us if you can. You'll find all the details on how you can support us financially at our website, musicrevival.co.za. Musicrevival.co.za. There's a donate page. I see here comes little Lucy's made her way into the picture as well, and I'm sure Barry's going to bring up the QR code on the screen in a second. If you have your phone nearby, you can always, yes Lucy, I see you there, you can always point your phone app on your smartphone at the camera, at the screen at least, at the QR code, and you should be guided immediately off to our event on Cricket. What's happening, Lucy? Are you wanting to make an appearance? Come on. Oh, there's little Lucy. Even Wendy Pop's getting excited. Little Luce. Look how sweet little Lucy is. Go, Luce. Are you looking forward to Christmas? Are you wanting to wear a Christmas elf? Are you going to be a Christmas elf? A little Christmas elf cardigan, I think, for Lucy is due for the Christmas shows. We'll be carrying on our live streams at 2 a week, certainly right through until the end of December and beyond. So thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you've enjoyed the selection of music. Look after yourselves and stay well.